A fruit seller has a total of 187 fruits consisting of apples, mangoes and oranges. The number of apples and mangoes are in the ratio of 5:2, 5x, 2x and y, adding up to 187. She sells 75 apples, 26 mangoes. So this is apples, mangoes and oranges. And half of the oranges, I don't want to have y, I'll put it to y, it sells y. The ratio of the number of unsold apples to the number of unsold oranges. Unsold apples is 5x minus 75. Unsold oranges is y. 5x minus 75 is to y is 3:2. This is 3:2, or 10x minus 150 is equal to 3y. 10x minus 3y is equal to 150, which is nice. The other equation is 7x plus 2y equals 187. We can look to remove y. I think if you remove x, remove y, if you kick out y, we'll find x. Once we find x, we can find everything else. And so multiply this by 2, multiply this by 3. So 20x minus 6y is 300. 21x plus 6y. 187 into 3. Oh, that's a pain. 183 is 540. 561. Add these two. 41x equals 861. So let's worry. 41x is 861. I was a little concerned that 861 doesn't seem to be like a nice number. 861 by 41 goes 2 times 82. Brilliant. Or x is 21. We know that 7x plus 2y is 187. 147 plus 2y is 187. 2y is 40, y is 20. We want to find the total number of unsold fruits. X is 41. 41 into, x is 21. 21 into 5 is 105. 42, 40, 82, 187. That works. From this we sell off 20. So from 187 we sell 121. Or the remaining is 66. There are 66 unsold fruits. Or we could have done this and simplify. Either way is fine. 66 unsold fruits. Right now, frame equation, get the linear equation, brute force it, solve it, get x, get y, simplify life after that. Two places A and B are 45 kilometers apart and connected by a straight line. Anil goes from A to B, but Sunil goes from B to A. A to B, Anil and Sunil. Starting at the same time, they cross each other in exactly 1 hour 30 minutes. After 1 hour 30 minutes, they cross each other. So after 1 hour 30 minutes, they meet somewhere here. 90 minutes. 90 minutes. If Anil reaches B exactly 1 hour 15 minutes after Sunil reaches A. And so Sunil reaches A in say t minutes. Anil reaches B t plus 75 minutes. 1 hour 15 minutes is 75 minutes. So 90 minutes to reach that point, and then Sunil takes t minutes to reach. Anil takes t plus 75. My diagram is a little bit off because I think they should have met closer to A. It doesn't matter. None of these things really matter. So now what are we doing? So 90 by t is t plus 75 by 90. Why? Distance traveled with the same, ratio of speeds should be same, ratio of time taken should be same. And so 90 for equal distances, not if it's the same, for equal distances, 90 by t should be t plus 75 by 90. So for instance, if your friend and you travel for 100 kilometers, the ratio of your time taken is 2:3. If you travel 200 kilometers, ratio of time taken will be 2:3. If you travel 2000 kilometers, ratio of time taken will be 2:3. For any one unit of distance, if the ratio of time taken is given, any other equal distance, as long as both of you are traveling equal distance, time taken will be the same ratio. So 90 into 90 is t plus 75 into t. So t square plus 75t minus 90 into 90 is 0. We've got to factorize this 90 into 90, lots of 9s. So we need to figure out a way to break this to get ton of 9s. 90 into 15, no, doesn't work. 120 into 45, will it work? No, that doesn't work. Ooh, we need to factorize 90 into 90, break this such that there are two zeros sitting there. 90 into 15, 120 into 45, no, 135 into 60, that will work. T square plus 135t minus 60t plus 90 into 90 equal to 0. T into t plus 135 minus 60 into t plus 135. I don't need to do all this. T is 60. This takes 60 minutes. This flow takes 6 plus 60 plus 75, 135. 90 by 60 is 1.5. 135 by 90 is 1.5. This works really well. Speed of Anil in kilometers per hour. Anil totally takes 60 plus 135. 135 is 2 hours and 15 minutes. This is 1 hour. So 3 hours and 15 minutes. 1 by 4 hours he takes. The distance traveled is 45 kilometers. Anil's speed is 45 by 3, 1 by 4. 135 minutes is 2 hours and 15 minutes. Plus 90 minutes, sorry, 3 by 4. 90 minutes plus 2 hours 15 minutes. So 3 hours and 45 minutes, 3 by 4. 3 into 4 is 12, 12 plus 3 is 15. So this is 45 by 15 by 4. 3 into 4, 12 kilometers per hour. Nice question. Similar idea. Two people meet and then go and reach their respective destinations. All good. We've done questions in similar templates. But interestingly, they've given us this time and one other times we need to find we've been given the difference between these two time taken. Find the time and then go on to everything else after that. Renu would take 15 days working 4 hours per day to complete a certain task. Renu takes 60 hours. Seema would take 8 hours working 5 hours per day. Seema would take 40 hours to complete this task. So I'm going to define this task as 120k. Then Renu can do 2k per hour. 60 into 2, 120. Seema can do 3k per hour. Whatever this task is, it's 120k. Why 120k? LCM of 60 and 40. Life is simple. Every hour, Renu can do 2k work. Every hour, Seema can do 3k work. 3k units of work. They decide to work together to complete this task. Seema agrees to work for double the number of hours per day as Renu. Well, Renu agrees to work for double the number of days as Seema. Renu works 2 hours per day. Seema agrees to work double the number of hours per day, 4 hours per day. Seema works for n days, Renu works for 2n days. Then the number of days Seema will work. Oh, nice. Okay, done. So 2 into 2n, which is 4n, 4 into n, 4n. So 4n hours Renu works, 4n hours Seema works, 8n, so 4n into 2k, 8nk is what Renu does, 12nk is what Seema does. Together they finish off 120k. 20nk is 120k. The k gets knocked off. 20n is 120 or n is 6. Seema works for 6 days. Renu works for 12 days. So 6 into 4, 24. 12 into 4, 48. 48 hours. Sorry. 6 into 4, 24 hours of Seema. 2 into 12, 24 hours of Renu can finish this task. Yeah, looks like they can finish this task. Lovely. Then the number of days Seema works is 6. A glass is filled with milk. 2/3 of its content is poured out and replaced with water. All milk. So 1/3 milk, 2/3 water. If this process of pouring out 2/3 of the content and replacing with water is repeated 3 more times, so we'll have even less milk, even less milk, even less milk. The final ratio of milk to water in the glass, milk will be very low. At every stage we are retaining milk and bringing in water into the process. So don't track water, track only milk. Water is a 2-step process. We remove milk and water and add water. We remove milk and water and add water. We are not adding milk. At each stage we are removing milk. Whatever milk was here, 1/3 of that will be 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 here. Total milk was 1. After 4 stages, milk will be 1/3 power 4, 1/81 of the total. This is milk. 80/81 of the total will be water. Or milk is to water in the glass is 1:80. Brilliant. At every stage, 1/3 of the milk is retained. In September, the incomes of Kamal, Vimal and Amal. Kamal, Amal, Vimal. September, salaries are 8x, 6x and 5x. They rent a house together and Kamal pays 15%, Amal pays 12% and Vimal pays 18% of their respective income. 15% 1.2x, 12% 0.72x. 18% 0.9x. These are the rents. In October, the house rent remains unchanged while their incomes increase by, so October income increases by 10%, 8.8x, by 12% is 6.72x, and 15% is 5.75x. In October, the percentage of their total income that will be paid as house rent is nearest to a pain in the neck. Add these two, add these three, and do the math. 5 plus 2 is 7, 7 plus 7, 14 plus 8, 22, 2, 2, 10, 16, 21, 21.27x. This adds up to 19, 21.27, yeah, seems the ballpark. 2, 16 plus 2, 18, 8, 1, 2.82x. We have to represent 2.82 by 21.27 as a percentage. More than 10, all my choices are more than 10, not helping. Right? These choices are so damn close. I'm using a calculator from here on in. I have a calculator, so I'm not going to long divide this and get myself into trouble. It should be one of these three. If I have to, I think I've seen the answer, so it'd be cheating if I guessed from here on. So I know the answer. So just divide this and we'll find the answer. The selling price of a product is fixed to ensure 40% profit. So if cost price were X, selling price would be 1.4X. The product had cost 40% less. So new cost price is 0.6X and had been sold for 5 rupees less, 1.4X minus 5. Then the resulting profit would have been 50%. 50% profit margin. So 0.6x into 3 by 2 is 1.4x minus 5. 0.9x this is. So 5 equals 1.4x minus 0.9x. Bring the minus 5 this side, 0.9x that side, or 5 equals 0.5x. X is 10. Initially bought at 10, sold at 14. The original selling price in rupees of the product. Freebie. Take it, put it in the bag. The 4 numbers such that the average of the first 2 numbers is 1 more than the first number. The first number is A, second number is A plus 2. Second number were also A, then sum of these two would be 2A, average would be A, average is 1 more, average is, second number is 2 more than the first number, and average would be A plus 1. The average of the first 3 numbers is 2 more than average of the first 2 numbers. Average of the first 2 numbers is A plus 1. Third number had also been A plus 1, average would be unchanged. Average is 2 more, bringing 6 more than a plus 1, a plus 7. Okay. Average of these two, average is a plus 1, average of these three, 3a plus 9, average is a plus 3. Average of the first 4 numbers is 3 more than average of the first 3 numbers. First 3 numbers average is a plus 3. I had a plus 3 as the last number. Average would have been a plus 3. It is 3 more over 4 numbers. 3 into 4, 12. Total is 12 more than a plus 3. This number is a plus 50. This average a 4a 2 plus 7 9 9 plus 5 15 4a plus 24 by 4 a plus 6. This is how the 4 numbers are. Then the difference between the largest and smallest numbers. Nicely done, nice and simple. An amount rupees 10,000 is deposited in a bank for a certain number of years at a simple interest of 8% per annum, 5% per annum. On maturity, the total amount received is deposited in bank B for another 5 years at a simple interest of 6% per annum. The interest received from bank A and bank B are in the ratio 10:30. What do they invest in? Initial principal is 10,000 for some period, for a certain number of years, let's say n years. So interest from A is 10,000 into n into 5%. Nice. This is deposited in bank B, not this amount, all amount. Interest from B is 10,000 plus 10,000 into n into 5%. The whole thing 5 years for 6% into 5 at 6%. This is the interest that we get from B. So 10,000 into n into 5% is the interest from A, principal, the number of years into rate of interest. We have taken the whole amount, so the amount will be principal plus interest. On that we get simple interest, 5 years at 6%. This ratio is 10:13. The 10,000 will completely disappear. Simplify, solve for n, we should get the answer. And so let's remove the 10,000 completely. N into 5 by 100 is to 1 plus n into 5 by 100 is n by 20 into 5 into 6 by 100. The 100 disappears, the 5 disappears. This is 10:13. N is 2. 1 plus n by 20 into 6. Ten into 6 is 60 into 1 plus n by 20 equals 13n. 60 plus 3n equals 13n. 10n is 60, n is 6. Initially it is put for 6 years. A fruit seller has a stock of mangoes, bananas and apples. So mangoes, bananas and apples. Right. Quite appropriate for the people writing this exam. It stands for Masters in Business Administration. Right. I didn't notice it the first time I was doing this question. But anyway, let's carry on. At least one fruit of each type. At the beginning of a day, the number of mangoes make up 40% of his stock. So this is 2x. Total is 5x. That day he sells half of the mangoes. So he sells x mangoes, 96 bananas and 40% of the apples. 40% is 2 by 5. I don't want to deal with 0.4. I don't want to deal with 2 by 5. I'm calling this 5y and 2y. Right? At the end of the day, he ends up selling 50% of the fruits. The smallest possible total number of fruits in the stock at the beginning of the day.
He's selling 50% of the fruits. Total is 5x. He's selling 2.5x. And so x plus 96 plus 2y equals 2.5x, or 2x plus 192 plus 4y is 5x. I'm just multiplying by 2, nothing else. So 192 plus 4y equals 3x. We cannot solve and find values of x and y, but we can, whatever values of x and y satisfy this, will satisfy all our conditions. Right? Especially because this number here is vacant. You have to introduce another variable here, or we'll have to call it 3x minus 5y, because the total is 5x. Right? So now what do we do here? We want to find the smallest possible total number of fruits. So we want to find as small a value for y and x. Then it will work. And if I put y as 1, 196 is not a multiple of 3. Y as 2, 196 doesn't work. 200 doesn't work. 204 is a multiple of 3. So if y were equal to 3, then x would be 204 by 3, which is 68. That's the smallest value x can take. Smallest possible total number of fruits in the stock is 5x. This is 5 into 68, which is 340. And it helps to choose juicy variables, 2x and 5x because 40%, 2y and 5y because 40%. In another world, I would have made this as 4x, 10x and 10x, 5x and 4x, 2x, just to avoid this 2.5, but I had gone too far putting x in. So I said, let's frame this equation and multiply it by 2. So the key part here is to simplify this equation and then say, hey, what is the smallest value of y that I can plonk in to get a nice integer value of x? We know that looking at this, smaller that y is, smaller x will be. Y equal to 3 works, x equal to 168 works. Remember, we cannot have y equal to 0, because if y were 0, this would be 0, and we're saying at least one fruit of each type. Bina incurs 19% loss when she sells a product at 4860. Cost price is x, selling price is 0.81x, which is 4860, which works 60, which works rather well, because I think 81 into 6 is 486, so x is 6000. Nice. It really helps if we have some numbers plugged in first. To Shyam, who in turn sells this product to Hari. So Shyam sells to Hari. Shyam buys at 4860 and sells at some other point. If Bina would have sold this product to Shyam at the purchase price of Hari, she would have obtained a 17% profit. 17% profit. Purchase price of Hari should be 1.17x. And 17% profit. If she had sold it to Shyam at the purchase price of Hari, whatever price Shyam sells it at, she would have made a 17% profit. We assume the initial cost price to be x, which we know is 6000. This would have been 1.17x. Then the profit in rupees made by Shyam is buying at 4860 and selling at 1.17x. We know x is whatever 6000. This is 0.81x. So 1.17x minus 0.8. This is 19%, 17%, 36%. This difference is 0.36x, where x is 6000. Shyam's purchase price is 0.81x. Shyam's selling price is 1.17x. Because Bina, if she had sold directly to Hari at this point, or at Hari's price point, Hari's purchase point, if she had sold to Shyam, she would have made 17%. Or 36% of x is what we need to find. That's the profit that Shyam makes in rupees. X is 6000. 36% of 6000. 36 into 6 is 216. 6 cube. We know that. The answer is 2160. 9 a.m. and follows a fixed route every day. One day it travels at a constant speed of 60 kilometers per hour and reaches destination 3.5 hours later than its scheduled arrival time. Next day it travels 2/3 of its route and 1/3 of its total schedule time, and the remaining part at 40 kilometers per hour to reach just on time. The scheduled arrival time of the bus. Fine, so assume typically the bus travels 3D in time 3t at a speed of 3d by 3t, which is d by t. Nice, brilliant. Next day, it takes 3t plus 3.5 hours traveling at 60 kilometers per hour to travel the same 3D. On day 3, in another scenario, it travels 2D in just time t, remaining d in 2t time, and this speed is 40 kilometers per hour. Remember, in the third instance, it reaches just on time. So the total time taken is 3t. T here, 2t there. This simplifies life superbly. D by 2t is 40 kilometers per hour. Or d by t is 80 kilometers per hour. Its typical travel speed is 80 kilometers per hour. At 80 kilometers per hour, it takes time 3t. At 60 kilometers per hour, it takes 3.5 hours more. Find the time taken. So 80 into 3t equals 60 into 3t plus 3.5. 4 and 3, 12t equals 9t plus 10.5. Or 3t is 10.5. T is 3.5. It usually takes time 3t, that is 10.5 hours. So what scheduled arrival time of the bus? It starts at 9 a.m. and takes 10.5 hours. 9 a.m. 12 hours is 9 p.m. 10.5 hours 7:30 p.m. Yes, it's there. A company has 40 employees whose names are listed in a certain order. In the year 2022, the average bonus of the first 30 employees was 40,000. The last 30 employees was 60,000. And the first 10 and the last 10 employees together was 50,000. Next year, the average bonus of the first 10 employees increased by 100%. The last 10 employees increased by 200%. And the remaining employees was unchanged. Then the average bonus in rupees of all the 40 employees together in the year 2023 was. Nice, beautiful question. And so now the 40 employees, they're all our calculation in terms of counts of 10. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to say first 10, second 10, third 10, fourth 10. And so A plus B plus C, groups of 10, 10, 10, 30 people. Sum of all of this, all 10, 10, 10, is 30 into 40,000. Sum B plus C plus D. Sum is going to be, last 30 employees is 60K. 30 into 60K. The first 10 and the last 10 was 50,000. This plus this is 20 into 50K. Nice. So again, it's a very nice standard template. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write this down very clearly. I have A plus B plus C is 120K. B plus C plus D is 180K. B plus C plus D is 180K. A plus D is 100K. Very nice template, very standard template. First 3, last 3, first and last. And so 2 and 3 repeat in the first and second equations. 1 and 3, 1 repeats in first and third, 2 repeats in 2 and third. So if we add everything up, we've got 2A plus 2B plus 2C plus 2D equals 300 plus 400K. Or A plus B plus C plus D is 200k. Brilliant. A plus B plus C is 120k, or D is 80k. Remember, this is the average of the last 10. B plus C plus D is 180k, or A is 20k. These two add up to 100k. All four add up to 200k. B plus C should together add up to 100k, but it could be any combo. It could be 30 and 70, 50 and 50, 40 and 60. We cannot accurately find B and C. That doesn't matter. B plus C together is 100k. And so this chunk together is 100k. So 20k plus 100k plus 80k. Add all of this up. Divide by 4. Overall average is 50k. Nice. Now let's think about this. The question doesn't stop with this, not saying what is the average of the first 10 or the last 10 or the middle 20. Right? The question says the average bonus of the first 10 employees increased by 100%. So this goes to 40k. Average of the last 10 employees increased by 20%, or this goes to 240k. And the remaining employees was unchanged. So this 100k. What put together? 50k plus 50k, 100k totally. And so the sum is 100k, this is 240k, this is 40k. Now what is the overall average of all the 40 employees put together? This plus this plus this divided by 4. Remember, we're making taking a bunch of liberties here, treating this as one variable each, and not 10. I want to do 10 employees together. First 10, middle 20, last 10. Middle 20 is treated as 10 plus 10. We're taking that liberty. Right? Second up, we're kind of moving from average to total all the time. And so we need to be some careful about it in our head, even if the equations don't speak for themselves. Now, what is the final answer? 40 plus 100, 140, plus 240, 380 divided by 4. 380,000 divided by 4. The 1000 stays intact, we don't have to worry about it. 380 by 4 is 190 by 2, 95,000. Anil invests 22,000 for 6 years in a scheme with 4% interest per annum, compounded half yearly. Okay, so Anil will get 22,000 into 1.02 to the power 12. 4% per annum, compounded half yearly. Right? Separately, Sunil invests a certain amount in the same scheme for 5 years. So Sunil invests some x into 1.02 power 10 and then invest the entire amount he receives at the end of 5 years for 1 year at 10% simple interest. The amounts received by both at the end of 6 years are equal in the initial investment in rupees made by super sitter. This is equal to this into 1.1. I was a little worried, how am I going to calculate 1.02 per 12? That simply doesn't happen. So this 1.02 per 12 and that 10 get cancelled. 1.02 whole square. 22,000 into 1.02 whole square equals x into 1.1. That 1.1 is rather useful. Bring it here. This is 20,000 into 1.02 whole square, which I know is 10404. We're looking for 20808. If I have a calculator, punch it and get the answer. Beautiful, simple question. We should be nailing these. Nice. A vessel contained a certain amount of a solution of acid and water. Acid and water. When 2 liters of water was added to it, the new solution had 50% acid concentration. So you add 2 liters of water. Then it has equal acid and water after you add 2 liters. Or initially it was x minus 2 and x. Initially there were 2 liters of acid more than water. You add 2 liters of water, it goes to equal. 50% acid. When 15 liters of acid was further added to this new solution, first time when I did it, I forgot the further added. So I'm adding plus 15 The final solution had 80% acid concentration. So this becomes x plus 15. This stays as x. X plus 15 by 2x plus 15 is 80%, which is 4 by 5. So 5x plus 75 is 8x plus 60. 15 is equal to 3x, x is 5. That number simply doesn't look like 15, so I'm going to make it very clearly like 15. So x is 5. So initially we had 5 liters of acid and 3 liters of water, then we went to 5 and 5, then we went to 20 and 5. Nice, brilliant. The ratio of water and acid in the original solution is not 5:3, it is 3:5. Just be a little careful, it's asking us for water to acid. Amal and Vimal together can complete a task in 150 days, and Vimal and Sunil can complete the same task in 100 days. If Amal takes A days, 1 by A plus 1 by V is 1 by 150. Well, Vimal and Sunil together can complete the same task in 100 days. 1 by V plus 1 by S is 1 by 100. Amal starts working on the task and works for 75 days. Then Vimal takes over and works for 135 days. Finally, Sunil takes over and completes the remaining task in 45 days. So 75 by A plus 135 by B. Vimal can do 1 by B of a task in 1 day. 135 days, 135 by B. Plus 45 by S equals 1. They finish the whole task. If Amal had started the task alone and worked on all days, and Vimal had worked on every second day, Sunil had worked on every third day, then the number of days required to complete the task would have been. And so basically they're saying find A, B and S and then simplify after that. And so we subtract one from the other, V will disappear. We make V disappear again by doing something else here. Then we should be able to find A and S. What am I going to do? Subtract the first from the second. So we'll get 1 by S minus 1 by A. 1 by 100 minus 1 by 150. 3 by 300 minus 2 by 300 is 1 by 300. From these two equations, we eliminated V. What do? We again eliminate V by either multiplying this equation or this equation. Let's hypothetically, let's take this one. Multiply this by 135. 135 by A plus 135 by V equals 135 by 150, 9 by 10. Right. You have to subtract one from the other. And subtract from the first one, I subtract the second one, minus 60 by A plus 45 by S equal to 1 by 10. 1 by S minus 1 by A (1 by S minus 1 by A). Okay, let's do this. 1 by S minus 1 by A is 1 by 300. Minus 60 by A plus 45 by S. 45 by S minus 60 by A is equal to 1 by 10. Maybe we'll multiply this by 60. 60 by S minus 60 by A is 1 by 5. Subtract one from the other. 60 by S minus 45 by S, this goes away. 15 by S equals 1 by 10. S equals 150. 1 by 150 minus 1 by A equals 1 by 300. 1 by A, 1 by 150 minus 1 by 300. So it is 1 by 300. A is 300. Amal takes 300 days, Sunil takes 150 days. Let's see. 1 by A plus 1 by V is 150. A takes 300. 1 by 300 plus 1 by B is 1 by 150. 1 by B is 1 by 300. Amal and Vimal take 300 days each. Sunil takes 150. Amal takes 300. Vimal takes 300. Sunil takes 150. To finish this task, fine. So let's say this task has 300 units. Amal does 1 unit per day, Vimal does 1 unit per day, Sunil does 2 units per day. Right? Amal worked on all days, Vimal worked on every second day, Sunil worked on every third day. Right? So let's say Amal works on 6K days, Vimal works on 3K days, Sunil works on 2K days. Total task is 300K, 6K plus 3K plus 4K is Sunil had worked on every third day. The number of days required. This is 300. This is tricky. 9K, 13K, 300 by 13. This is a pain in the neck. Amal had started the task alone, worked on all days. Okay. So the 6K, 3K, 2K model doesn't work. So what am I going to do? I'm going to say, hey, let's do it step by step. Total task is 300K. Total task is 300 units. Amal works on every day. Vimal works every second day. Sunil works every third day. Right? Hypothetically, if they work till 100 days, they worked on 100, 50, 33. 100, 150, 66. It doesn't work. I'm going to up it to 120, 60, and 40. This is 120, 180, 260, 120 also doesn't work. So let's take it to say 132. This is 66, 44. 66 plus 44 is 110. Sorry, 66, 132 plus 66 plus 88. 14, 16, 6, 1, 10, 18, 8, 1, 286. So this should work for more than 132 days. If you were 138, 144, it will overshoot. 138 days. So this is 138. That will be half of that 69. 1/3 of that, which is 46 into 292. 138 plus 69 plus 92. 19, 9, 1, 10, 19, 9, 1, 299. So they work for 138 days. Exactly 69 would have worked, exactly 92 would work, takes us to 299. So they should have worked for 139 days. The 139th day being the day on which only Amal works. And Vimal and Sunil don't turn up on that day. So 139 plus 69 plus 92 will be exactly 300. Brilliant. So what seems like a seemingly easy question is not. You have to struggle through it and then do step by step.
Sam can complete a job in 20 days when working alone. Mohit is twice as fast as Sam and thrice as fast as Aina in the same job. Fine. So let's say Mohit twice as fast as Sam, thrice into 2 into 3. So in one day, let's say Mohit can do 6K task. Then Sam can do 3K. Aina can do 2K. Into 2 into 3. I'm looking for a number that's a multiple of 2 and 3. 6 works. Right? So the amount of task that can be done by Mohit in one day, if it were 6K, then Sam can do 3K, Aina can do 2K. Sam can complete the job in 20 days. So 3K into 20 is 60K. Then total task is equal to 60K. Mohit can do it in 10 days, Aina can do it in 30 days, etc. 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 They undertake a job with an arrangement where Sam and Mohit work together on day 1. Day 1 is Sam and Mohit, that is 9k. And on the second day, Mohit and Aina work together, 6 plus 2, 8k. Sorry, Sam and Aina work together on the second day. Need to be careful about this. Sam is 3k, Aina is 2k, 5k. This is S and M, this is S and A. On day 3, I'm guessing it should be the third combo, Mohit and Aina, 6 plus 2, 8k. Nice. And this 3-day pattern is repeated till the work gets completed. And so Mohit alone can finish it in 10 days. I'm guessing it will get completed in some combo in 8 days or 9 days or something like that. Okay. Then the fraction of total work done by Sam is very interesting. So let's think about one cycle. One cycle is 9 plus 5, 14 plus 8, 22k. So in first 3 days, 22k will get done. Next 3 days, another 22k will get done. The next 3 days, another 22k will get done. By that time, we'll get finished. So the whole task is going to get finished before 9 days. First 6 days. So we're going to do this of 2 cycles. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. Okay. So we're at 44k. Day 7 is 9k. Day 8 is 5k. 9 plus 5 is 14. We go to 58k. On day 9, we'll have 8k being done, but we need only 2k. So somewhere on the 9th day, this will get completed. We don't want to know exactly how many days it takes. We want to think about what is the fraction of total work done by Sam. So Sam would have worked day 1 and day 2, 2 in the first cycle, day 4 and day 5, 2 days in the second cycle, 4 days, day 7 and day 8. So Sam worked for a total of 6 days totally. I'm interested in only what Sam does. Sam works for 6 days. So Sam does 6 days into 8, 18k of the task on his own. Sam does 18k, which is super useful because the question says what fraction of the task is done by Sam. Total task is 60k. Sam does 18k. Fraction is 18k by 60k, which is 3 by 10. So I'm looking for an answer choice that is 3 by 10. That's available. A train traveled a certain distance at a uniform speed. So distance d at a speed x, taking time t. Had the speed been 6 kilometers per hour more, it would have needed 4 hours fewer. And so we could have traveled at x plus 6 and taken time t minus 4. Had the speed been 6 kilometers per hour lesser, fewer, it would have taken 6 hours more. It would have been x minus 6. It would have been t plus 6. The distance in kilometers traveled by the train. A very template question. What are we going to do? We're going to say, hey, x into t equals x plus 6 into t minus 4 equals x minus 6 into t plus 6, or xt equals xt plus 6t minus 4x minus 24. Equate these two. 6t minus 4x equals 24. 3t minus 2x equals 12. This is equal to xt minus 6t plus 6x minus 36. Equate this and this. Xt goes off. 6x minus 6t equals 36. X minus t equals 6. Minus t plus x equals 6. Multiply this by 2. Minus 2t plus 2x equal to 12. Add these two. 3t minus 2t is 3. Minus 2x plus 2x disappears. Equals 24. X minus t is 6, or x is 30. T is in hours, x is in kilometers per hour. Right? Because this is hours, that is kilometers per hour. The distance in kilometers traveled by the train is x into t, 24 into 30 kilometers, 720 kilometers. Just to recap, what are we doing here? We are framing this giant equation, taking these two and arriving at this, taking these two and arriving at this, and then taking those two and finding x and t. Once we find x and t, x into t is the total distance. We're done through. A certain amount of water was poured into a 300-liter container, and the remaining portion of the container was filled with milk. So milk and water. So water is equal to x, milk is 300 minus x. Then an amount of the solution was taken out from the container, which was twice the volume was earlier poured into it, and the water was poured to refill the container again. The resulting solution contains 72% milk. So what are we doing here? From this we take out minus 2x and then add 2x. This 2x is pure water. This minus 2x is the mixture. Whatever is inside, I take 2x of that out and then add 2x of water. So my water concentration should increase, milk concentration should decrease. And once that happened, we have 72% milk. Or in this, milk is 72% of 300 is 216, water is 84. Nice. First there was x of water, 300 minus x of milk, then of which 2x of this mixture we take out, replace it with water, and then milk is 216. This step to this step, I am removing mixture and adding water. When water is concerned, water goes out of the system, water enters into the system. As far as milk is concerned, milk is only going out in the system. Okay. Initially milk was 300 minus x. From that I am removing equivalent of 2x. Right. When the overall volume was 300, I have 300 minus x. Right. So the share of milk in this is 300 minus x by 300. To the tune of 2x, I am removing that. And then I have 216 units of milk. I'm going to think about what milk is retained. Frame an equation for that and then I'm through. 300 minus x milk is there. What fraction of the overall volume is removed? 2x by 300. Imagine if 10% is removed, then 90% is retained. If 1/5 is removed, 4/5 is retained. 2x is removed, but I'm going to think about 2x as a percentage or a fraction. 2x by 300 is removed. 1 minus 2x by 300 is retained. As a fraction, what was originally there? 300 minus x. So say, hey, 300 minus x into 1 minus 2x by 300 equals 260. After this, ideally I want to poke around and do some substituting numbers. 216 is a multiple of 6, 6 into 6 into 6 is a multiple of 27, 27 into 8. And so this number should also have lots of 3's, 27 is sitting there. So my gut feel is x could be 60, this is 240 into 1 minus 120 by 300 is 2 by 5. It's 240 into 3 by 5, 144 is too small. So I can do x equal to 30. I really like 30 because it's become 270. 270 into 1 minus 1 by 5. 270 into 4 by 5 is 260. We can do this algebraically. Cross multiply, simplify, take this expression 300 minus 2x by 300, take the 300 that side, solve for x. Finally, we should get 30. The idea that 216 is 2 cube into 3 cube. And even after something gets cancelled, we need to have 3 cubes sitting in the system. Want me to have this number 300 minus x. Definitely it has to be a multiple of 3. Maybe it has to be a multiple of 9. In this case, the multiple of 27, 270. It works. We're done. Rajesh and Vimal own 20 hectares and 30 hectares of agricultural land, respectively, which are covered by wheat and mustard crops. So, Rajesh, Vimal, wheat, mustard. Rajesh owns 20, Vimal owns 30. The cultivation of wheat and mustard in the land owned by Vimal are in the ratio 5:3. 5:3. So 5 by 8 into 30. 3 by 8 into 30. Overall is 50. If the total cultivation area of wheat and mustard are the ratio 11:9. 11:9. 11 by 20 into 50. 9 by 20 into 50. Then the ratio of cultivation of wheat and mustard in the land owned by Rajesh. Got all the numbers. Super simple question. A bunch of difficult ones. 5 by 8 into 30. This becomes 4, 15. This is 75 by 4. 3 by 8 into 30. 4, 15. 45 by 4. 11 into 5, 55 by 2, I'm going to get 110 by 4. This is 45 by 2, I'm going to call it 90 by 4. 110 by 4, 75 by 4, this plus this should be this total land. So this is 35 by 4. 110 by 4 minus 75 by 4. This minus this 90 by 4 minus 45 by 4. This is 45 by 4. We want to find this ratio. 35:45, 7:9. Hopefully that's there in our choices. Done. There, through. Gopi marks this price on a product in order to make 20% profit. So cost price, mark price is 1.2x. Ravi gets 10% discount and thus saves 15. Selling price 10%, 15, or this should be 150. It arrives at 135. 150 is 1.2x. 6 by 5x is 150. 25x is 125. Cost price is 125, marked up to 150, discount of 10%, coming up to 15 discount, sold off at 135. Nice. Then the profit in rupees made by Gopi by selling the product to Ravi is 125 to 135, 10 rupees done. I thought there would be one more step. Aman invests rupees 4,000 in a bank at a certain rate of interest compounded annually. The ratio of the value of investment after 3 years to the value of investment after 5 years is 25:36. 4,000 into 1 plus r by 100 whole power 3 by 4,000 into 1 plus r by 100 whole power 5 is 25 by 36. So 1 plus r by 100 whole square is 36 by 25, or 1 plus r by 100 is 6 by 5. It cannot be negative and all that, so r is 1 by 5. R by 100 is 1 by 5, r is 20%. The minimum number of years required for the value of investment to exceed 20,000. Pain in the neck. So we do 4,000 into 1 plus 20%, 1.2, whole power n should be greater than 20,000. So this goes off as 5. 1.2 whole power n should be greater than 5. The smallest n which works. We've got our answer. Right? It's a pain in the neck because without a calculator this is tough. Right? I'm assuming we have a calculator and we can make life easy. 1.2 whole cube is 1.728. 1729 because I really like 1729. So 1.2 whole power 6. 1.7 whole square is 2.89. 1.8 whole square is 3.24. 289, 324. This is roughly 3. 1.2 whole power 8 should be roughly 3 into 1.44, 4.32. 1.2 whole power 9 is 4.32 into 1.2. This goes more than 5. If I had to guess, I'm guessing 9. 8 seems pretty far away. It crosses beyond 9. If I had to guess, I'm guessing 9, but I'm not guessing. Pinching into a calculator, doing 1.2 into 1.2 into 1.2, 1.728 into 1.728 into 1.2 into 1.2. I keep on doing that. 9th 1.2, my gut feel is it will cost 5. I'm looking at the answer 9. After 2 successive investments, increments, Gopal's salary becomes 187.5% of his initial salary. 87.5% is 7 by 8. This is 15 by 8. Some initial salary, 1 increment, 1 more increment, 15 by 8 of x. If the percentage of salary increase in the second increment was twice that of the first increment, the percentage of salary increase in the first increment, for example, some x into, suppose it were 25%, it will be 5 by 4 to 50%, 3 by 2. So 20%, 6 by 5 into 7 by 5. And so whatever this x into 6 by 5 into 7 by 5, is it 15 by 8 of x? No. So by 8 there. So I'm looking for some by 4 somewhere. So x into 5 by 4 into 6 by 4. 1/4 it increases by. I don't want to solve this very algebraically into 100 plus x by 100 plus. Pointless. We need to get to 15 by 8. So 2 steps, 25% and 50% into 5 by 4 into 3 by 2 is 15 by 8. Got to be a by 8 here. It got to be by 4 somewhere. Otherwise it becomes tricky. 25% is the answer. The average of 3 distinct real numbers is 25, x, y, z. The sum is 84. The smallest number increases by 7, x plus 7. Largest number is reduced by 10, z minus 10. The order of the numbers remains unchanged to x less than y less than z, x plus 7 less than y less than z minus 10. The new arithmetic term becomes 2 more than the middle number. I'm adding 7, subtracting 10. So my total will fall by 3. So this total will be 81. The sum. The new arithmetic mean is 27, becomes 2 more than the middle number. The middle number is 25. I'm going to say, hey, instead of having a y, I'll call this 25, I'll call this 25. Nice. While the difference between the largest and smallest numbers becomes 64. Z minus 10 minus of x plus 7 is 64. Z minus x minus 17 is 64, is 81. Nice, brilliant. The largest number in the original set of 3 numbers. We need to find z. We know y is 25, x plus y plus z is 84, or x plus z is 84 minus 25, 59. Z minus x is 81, z plus x is 59. Add these two. 2 times z is 140, or z is 70. My gut feel is x will be negative. Yeah, x is minus 11. I don't care about this. Z is 70. Largest of the numbers is 70.